Lying on the coast, in the shadow of Highdown, in the 1800s the isolated hamlet of Ferring was suspected of being an ideal haunt for smugglers. The village developed fast in the 20th century and by 1930 had become a popular home and holiday centre for the rich and famous. King Edward VIII visited frequently and Bud Flanagan built a house here. Now, in 2015, Ferring is flourishing. The church is remembering the 1250th anniversary of the signing of its charter, and the village is celebrating. It would seem a good time for a few words about Ferring's special anniversary year from History Society Secretary Ed Miller.
In the Domesday Book, which is 1086, it shows Ferring to be one of the manors of the Bishop of Selsey, as it was then. It's a farming village, a population of about 150, you can work it out from the entry. And the population stayed at about 150 to 200 for the next 500 years. It was owned by the bishop, he was the lord of the manor, but in practice he rented out his estate to large landowners and farmers. And in the case of Ferring, the last of these large landowning families was the Henty family. The old manor house stood just south of the church, and it was rebuilt in the 1860s by Edwin Henty as a country gentleman's seat. It continued as the manor house in effect until 1923, when the manor house was actually sold as a private school for about 5 years, and it changed to a rather luxury hotel. And it carried on until 1946, when there was a disastrous fire and about half of it burnt down, and it was only partly rebuilt. But today it still stands as a monument in the place and more or less in the function of the old manor house. But many of the old houses still remain. The largest of these is East Ferring House, which goes back at least to 1560, although it's been altered, like many of the other houses. And the frontage of it now is Georgian, and that must have been done in the 1760s, 1780s. But inside, it's still very much an old house of the 17th and 18th centuries.
The library is celebrating its own birthday this year, 50 years since they moved into their new building.
We welcome children into the library much more than we used to. We have singing sessions and we play musical instruments, so it can be quite noisy in the library these days. I am coming up to retirement quite soon, but I won't be leaving because I love my job too much.
Let's now take a look at the people and groups that make up the backbone of our picturesque village.
The Ferring Flower Club has around 60 members and meets monthly on Friday afternoons. Pat MacDonald was their guest speaker when we visited in March, talking about walking the dog as she demonstrated some very clever and attractive flower arrangements.
When I'm walking the dog, I take a big bag, some secateurs, and I pick things up, as you do when you're walking the dog.
Her talk was fascinating and her audience really attentive. 4 members brought in entries for a club competition. The winner will receive the Agnes Newman Trophy. Agnes was an early president of the club for many years, who will be fondly remembered when the club celebrate their 50th anniversary on October the 22nd, 2015.
Another club celebrating almost 35 years is the Probus Club. President John Heath tells us more.
Ferring Probus Club is part of an international organisation for retired and semi-retired professional and business people. We've been in existence approximately 35 years. We have a membership currently of about 38. It is a men's club in principle, and we meet for a men's luncheon at the Russington Manor Hotel once a month. We meet here at the St Andrew's Church Hall also once a month, where the ladies get involved. And there again, it's usually a speaker of some local interest. We also hold twice a year an annual lunch for the ladies, normally called a ladies' lunch. So it's an active club, it's full of activity, it's got a very buoyant atmosphere and welcomes new members.
You may come to a halt at the crossing gates, but there's no stopping Ferring's line dancers at their weekly session in the village hall.
I'm Margaret Tibbs. I took over the Ferring Dance Club in 1993.
And I'm Betty Gathergood. I started 1992 and I've been going ever since. I thoroughly enjoy it every week.
People came to us and said, oh, line dancing is all the trend now. We want to line dance. And so we started with a handful of people on the line dancing, and it's taken off since then. We now have approximately 35. We start with a right rumba box, a right rumba box, a right rumba box, a right lock, and back coaster step. The club is open for anybody to join in the Ferring Village Hall. In a week's time, I'm 88.
And I'm 86.
See how good it is for you?
Ferring has several community centres, including St Andrew's Church Hall, which is home to the Trefoil Guild.
I'm Ruth Sims, and I'm currently chairman of the Ferring Trefoil Guild. We meet once a month on the second Tuesday of the month in St Andrew's Church Hall, and we're basically brownies who've grown up a bit. We are part of the Girl Guide movement, which is a worldwide movement, but we are not actually directly within it. So we make a guide promise and we have fun. We like to eat a lot. That seems to feature quite strongly in our meetings. Next month we have a French barbecue for Bastille Day, which might still be indoors, but there we go. And that will be French food type. Our husbands and partners come to that. Trefoil Guild is mainly for women, but men are very welcome to join. And we have a series of husbands and partners who come along faithfully and are very good and supportive, and we're very grateful to them. Other than that, we're always open to visitors, and we'd love to have new members. So if anybody is a secret girl guide and would love to come and join us, please feel free.
Meanwhile, at the Glebeland Centre, the Retirement Club is also celebrating an important anniversary.
I'm Lillian Holdsworth, I think you know that, and I founded this club in 1980, and we are now part of the Glebelands Community Centre. We specialise in retired people of any age, so if you retire at 45 you'd be welcome, as long as you're over 18 actually. This afternoon our Terry Clough Choir is going to be performing a St Patrick's Day concert. The choir is named after the lady who started it. She was a fine music teacher and drama teacher in West Sussex and a fine actress with the Ferring Amateur Dramatic Society across the road.
The pale moon was rising above the green mountain. The sun was declining beneath the blue sea.
And we're we're very pleased to have Anne Robinson now, who really is like a reincarnation of Terry. They're very much the same type of character, and it's very well supported, and we're really looking forward and quite excited about this afternoon's concert. It's just buzzing the whole time with different people popping in and out. There's always coffee and tea on the go. And on October the 15th, we will be celebrating our 35th anniversary. It will be a very important milestone for us.
People have asked me why 35 years, and I said, well, with the neighbourhood plan, we don't know whether the building will be standing for our 40th, or even if I will be standing. so we're having it now, and what a good thing to do on an October afternoon when it's turning all this.
Tell me quick, oh, ain't love a kick? Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head?
Most Monday mornings, a group of ladies meet in the village hall to try and keep fit. Margaret and Valerie run the club, and when the session was over, told us how it all began.
This class was run, or started, over 40 years ago by an acrobatic dancer. Then it was taken over by Joan Priestley, who was a tiller girl. Then it was taken over by Barbara Davies, who was in the class at the time.
She still comes.
And she still comes, yes, she does. And then Val and I took over for 5 years, and we've been doing it for 14 years.
And we think it's more or less time that we retire.
Yes.
And let the younger element in again.
Yes, and Val's daughter is taking it over.
I agreed to take it over. So today has been my first class, and I've got to learn the routines so that I can actually run the class in future. So I'll be taking over in July.
I'm a relatively new member of the group. I've been coming about 3 months now. I've done exercising before, obviously, and a much more aggressive sort of exercising. This came as a lovely surprise. It exercises every single part of you, but you don't realise it at the time. It also exercises your brain a bit because we do dancing and the moves are very complicated, and it's great fun trying to remember them.
It's for people of all ages, well, the older members, and we can go on till we're about 90 plus and still do some of the exercises.
I run the poetry group for Ferring Retirement Club. Started nearly 5 years ago, looking for something to do that we could do sitting down as we were sort of past keep fit and that sort of thing. A third of our members write their own poetry, and very good poetry.
Let's all spring into action. Wash everything for spring. Getting slower hardly matters if your heart can gladly sing.
As we read aloud to each other, there's limits to how many people you can have round a table and hear. So I have limited it to 15 and holding a waiting list.
John Betjeman, Hunter Trials. It's awfully bad luck on Diana. Her ponies have swallowed their bits. She fished down their throats with a spanner and frightened them all into fits. Oh, it's me now. I'm terribly nervous. I wonder if Smudges will shy. She's practically certain to swerve as her pelham is over one eye. Oh, wasn't it naughty of Smudges? Oh, Mummy, I'm sick with disgust. She threw me in front of the judges and my silly old collarbones bust.
The village fair was a great success, introduced by our wonderful vicar doing his impersonation of Elvis Presley.
It's a wonderful occasion, a very good cause. We want to support Wadars and all the other good causes that are here today represented. We're going to have a good time, we're going to do a bit of singing, we're going to entertain. But most of all, we're going to raise some funds and enjoy village life, because that's what it's all about. So welcome to Village Fair Day here in Ferring. Thank you very much. Thank you.
When no one else can understand me, when everything I do is wrong, you give me hope and consolation, you give me strength to carry on, and you're always there to lend a hand, no matter what I do. That's the wonder of you. Thank you very much. And when you smile, the world is brighter. You touch my hand and I'm a king. Your kiss for me is worth a fortune. Your love for me is everything. I guess I'll never know the reason why I love you as I do. That's the wonder of you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say we're very thankful for coming over here today. I hope you have a good time, spend lots of money, eat lots of good food, drink, have a good time, and celebrate with Ferring. This is the place to be. These are your friends. And I want you all to have a real good time. I guess I'll never know the reason why I love you as I do. That's the wonder of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, okay.
I'm the chairman of Ferring Conservation Group. I think we're quite a significant organisation in the village, as we have something in the region of 900 members on our books, both in Ferring and the immediate surrounding. Just recently, I think we've become more involved in practical work. Now, we planted something like 1,000 trees down the banks of the Rife, the river that runs down through Ferring. That is to help wildlife move through the area. Our most recent project is the medieval herb bed on the village green, where a number of our members have constructed and planted up a bed, and this is designed to celebrate the 1250th anniversary of the church coming to Ferring, and I think that has been a great addition to the facilities available on the village green. We've also got a number of other wildlife projects around the village that we've been working on. One of the most interesting ones is a nest box project where we have purchased and installed various boxes around the village, and we are monitoring those for the use by various birds, and those so far have been pretty successful on the whole. Our other main practical piece of work, which is an ongoing thing, is the clean-ups that we do. But I think our most important one is probably the beach clean, which is very ably organised by two of our members.
This is Sue Palmer and I'm Jenny Grixty, and we both did a course to be a voluntary beach warden. And
it's about 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
And so since then we started the beach cleans in Ferring.
We found lots of fishing net, rope.
Yes. We do find the odd shoe. They're always odd, aren't they?
There's always one shoe,
and you wonder why people go home with only one shoe.
Whether it's just a cup of coffee or a full Bluebird special breakfast, the Bluebird Cafe is always a popular venue.
You're as pretty as a picture. Has anyone ever told you before?
We're members of the Aeronaut Society, and from September to the beginning of May we meet in Ferring Village Hall, and from May until the end of August we meet outside at various venues, and we have an outside programme. On this glorious morning we're down by the Rife, painting and drawing and sketching and enjoying the countryside and the fresh air and the bird song. The Society has about 50 members. We call ourselves experienced painters merely because we don't have any tuition. We help one another, but we don't have any formal tuition. In the winter, when we're painting inside in the village hall, we set ourselves a programme and we enjoy mornings where we do our own work, or we have a still life. Occasionally we have a model and do life drawing. So it's a very varied programme and very varied amount of work that we do. In the summer we have an exhibition in the village hall for a week where we show our work, and we like to show our work to the community, and we have a very successful exhibition.
A well-known local charity supporting people with learning difficulties is Ferring Country Centre.
The centre originally was a riding stables, so it was a group of stables with a concrete base. We've developed that over the years, and now we have a wonderful American-style building housing all our horses, which is our stables.
I'm a support worker / riding coach at Ferring Country Centre. Very, very rewarding job. The people from the outside that come here to ride, watching their confidence grow, watching their skills improve, it's amazing.
In addition to that, we've added the garden centre and nurseries, which grow plants all year round. We've also added on the small animal farm, so a farm within the community, and we have a cafe here.
Ferring has its fair share of hidden gems and beautiful gardens, one of which is owned by Joy Warren.
Joy Warren's garden is her pride and joy. She showed us round before explaining how she got the idea for her very successful charity-raising project.
In 2007, I went to the Sea Lakes Open Garden with my friend Thelma Denville. As we were walking round, I said to her, "Do you know, we could do this, raise money for charity." So we sent notes round to all the neighbours, and we got quite a reasonable response, enough to make a go of it anyway.
And that was how it all began.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock.
We had a lot more entertainment this time. We had 40s and 50s dance in uniform. And we had food and drink, we had craft stalls, we had the spinners, the motorcyclists. We should have had more vintage cars. Unfortunately, 2 of them broke down before they could get here.
Well, this is my Austin Big 7. It's a 1939 car. I've only done 50 odd miles in the last 10 years, so it's not getting much mileage on the clock.
One big attraction, which was new this year, was the railway system in number 2 Green Park, which the children absolutely loved.
That's the way to fun there amongst the girls and boys, so let's all go down the strand. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got a swing. Do-wah, 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 do-wah.
We only charged £2.50 and we had, I think, 21 gardens, and that included them to go around every single garden.
It makes no difference if it's sweet or hard. Just give that rhythm everything you've got.
We give them a programme which tells them where and when things are taking place and where the gardens are. And we raised 5,400 this time, which to my mind is very good for one afternoon.
Hello, we are all members of Worthing Beekeepers, and Worthing Beekeepers has been going for several years, certainly since before the Second World War. This is Angela, and Angela and I have been doing exams together, and this is Martin, my husband, who's the muscles of the job. Now, this is one of our beehives, and I'm going to take it apart so that you can see what's actually going on inside the hive. Each of these honey frames, when it's capped with wax, can hold about 3 pounds or so of honey. The bees have actually built all the honey, all the wax that's here, and they've started to fill up this outside frame with honey. And this area of the hive, you will only find worker bees. The bees do actually store some honey for themselves, and because this is an outside frame, this is mostly full of honey that they've stored for their own use. The queen's quite difficult to spot because although she is bigger than the worker bees, which of course incidentally are all female, she's not a lot larger. So it takes a bit of experience to find her. Oh, and she's on this frame. Angela's pointing to her. She's got a little yellow spot on her thorax, just so that I can see her a bit better. And in fact, I also clip one of her wings so that if she tries to fly away from the hive, she won't get very far. The male bees are raised in bigger cells. I don't know if you can see that these cells down here are more raised, and here. So these are worker cell growing in there, and these are drone cells. So the male bees come from there and the worker bees come from here.
Adrian Bishop, a retired head teacher, writes books in his spare time, but he has another interesting hobby. He's known locally as the Flag Man of Ferring because he usually likes to have a flag flying in his front garden. He told us that he has about 60 different ones, and we couldn't quite understand why he needed so many.
Well, as I was showing you outside with the flag of the Jolly Roger, I put it up to warn the neighbours that the grandchildren are around, so watch out folks, there might be a bit more noise than usual because they love rushing round the garden. So keep yourselves indoors because you never know what might happen. That's not fair because the grandchildren are very well behaved, but it's a bit of fun. It's great fun to have that up there. There are flags that I have bought from places. I have been up into Nepal, and I've been up into the Himalayas, and I've been to the Andes and Machu Picchu, been to New Zealand, so places I have been to, and then I started on all the continental countries I visited too. So I have bought and bought, and I now have somewhere between, I suppose, 55 or 60 flags, which get regularly used. They all come out at some stage. The one that I don't fly, and I do have on the rack, is the EU flag. Why? Because I don't agree with it. I want out. I'm sorry, I'm an outer, definite outer. So the EU flag does not get flown. It's just hidden on the rack down below. But other than that, they all get regular use. And the other one we have up today now, of course, is the Nepalese flag, which is a lovely flag. The two triangles, which is rather nice because it's the only unusual shaped one there. If there is a particular day that needs to be celebrated, Canada Day or whatever, I might find the Canadian flag and put it up. For the Queen's birthday, for example, I actually have the Queen's Standard. Now, one is not supposed to fly the Queen's Standard unless the Queen is in residence. Well, I hoped she might come to tea. She didn't, but I did fly the Queen's Standard. It's a beautiful flag. That really is lovely. People often ask how I keep them and how I select them. I put them over a wooden tower rail, take them off that and they fly, and then I lay them across the arms of an armchair in there, so from one place up the flagpole down and across again. So it's a selection the whole time that's going through. I'm often stopped and somebody will say, "What was that flag you had up yesterday?" And I have to say, I can't remember what I put up today, let alone what I put up yesterday. So it becomes a little bit of a problem.
Well, I've been doing ferrying quite a long time, about 12, 14 years. Yeah. Everybody recognises my hat. It's a bit noticeable, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Okay. It's a bit bright. All right then?
Lovely. Thank you very much.
The village hall is one of the main centres within the community. Chairman Paul Webster tells us more of its history.
The village hall was built in 1926 for Lady Henty, who in her will left it to the villagers. This is the club room, which is called the club room now, but originally it was built as a billiard room, as you can see here, by public subscriptions. As you can see, this is a nice airy room.
It's used for up to 60 people and for the clubs that are not too large. The main hall accommodates up to 140 people and was extended in the late 60s and again in 1977, whereas the Griffin Room holds no more than 25 and is generally used for meetings. We are currently operating near to capacity with over 50 clubs and organisations booked in on a regular or part-time basis. Many of these you will recognise, but some of the lesser known clubs include the Sussex Youth Theatre, Spanish Dance, Ballet, Tai Chi, Whist Drive, just to name a few. Recently we have undertaken a vast amount of work to bring the hall up to date so as to cover us for the next 5 years until a new hall is built over at the Cleveland Centre. When the new hall is built, we will have a lot more space for a lot more different organisations.
By 8:45 every Wednesday morning, the members of the village market are already busy setting out their stalls. This popular enterprise sells a huge range of products, but they have to work fast because the market opens sharp at 10 o'clock.
Everything has to be booked in and everybody has to have an invoice. We check all the produce that's coming in, see it's on the invoice. Once it's all checked in, we lay it out on the tables and await our customers who are all queuing up before 10 o'clock.
My husband grows the sweet peas here and he grows the vegetables, and that's why I started coming up here, to get rid of his vegetables. So I thought, well, I better stay and make the teas, and I've been making the tea ever since.
I make pies, pasties and quiches. I go and serve on the vegetable stalls if I'm needed. We all work together. We're all a good team.
Not everybody works in the market. Some just send their stuff in and we deal with it. Long as it has their own name and it's packaged to the way we approve.
The market is only open for 1 hour each week, and the hall has to be cleared by 11:30.
Local grower John Dibbons is never happier than on his allotment.
I've been digging here for 10 years. I've not reached Australia yet. That's why I keep digging.
And with carrots like these, I know the perfect venue to show them off.
The Ferring Horticultural Society was founded in 1957, and Sheila Smith, the president and show secretary, told us a little about the problems of staging one of their 3 annual flower shows.
The evening before the flower show, the committee and other members meet in the village hall, and we put up the trestle tables and the plastic tablecloths on top. Then we lay out the tables and have wood dividers for each class, so that people coming in the morning on the Saturday will know where to put their exhibits. And then the judges come and they go around with the 3 members of the committee who write down who wins first prize, who wins second prize, and who wins third prize. Then we have a charity stall in the summer, Jenny's Jams, and they do it in aid of the NSPCC. I give out the cups and do the raffle. And as soon as the show ends, the members and friends of the society come in and all congratulate ourselves on having a very good show.
Hello, my name is Pat Actree and I'm a long-standing member of Ferring Amateur Dramatic Society, commonly known by all locals as FADS. The village hall has always been our home, and this is where it all happens.
What are you doing here so early?
I'm having a business meeting here in a minute.
Business meeting in the pub. Must be dodgy.
It is not dodgy. I was just telling your mum. It's a perfectly good business meeting I'm having here. You know me, I don't associate with dodgy people.
FADS were formed on the 1st of April 1931. That was 84 years ago now. So it has been going strong ever since then. Our current production is called The Heist. It's an original play written by one of our members, Jo Smith, and this is the 3rd play that she has written for us. And they've gone off very well indeed. It's set, unusually for us, in an old pub, and it's a bar of the pub.
You know, you all come to the conclusion that because it's my idea, it's illegal.
Yeah. Go on then, what is this business proposition then?
We're going to rob the bookies.
Like all societies, we're always short of people, and if anybody is really interested in joining us, we'd love to have them, either on the acting side, particularly men we need, and young ones, younger people too, and also help on the technical side, on the lighting and sound, which is great fun to do. And I'm sure, you know, if anybody was interested in that side of things, they'd be more than welcome to join us.
Throughout the year, there is always something going on in Ferring, for young or old. A game of tennis, perhaps. Or maybe you might like to try barn dancing. Inside or out, you'll always find something to do.
Come down and have a go, and that doesn't cost, it won't cost you anything the first time you come down here, and even if you do come down and want to join, it's going to be very, very cheap. There's no cheaper tennis probably in the whole country than coming to Ferring, and you'll meet a friendly bunch of people and you'll have a good friendly game of tennis, and I'm sure that if you come down once, you'll want to come down more and more after that. Unfortunately, we haven't got coaching, so it's people who have played before and just want to develop their game and and have a good social game of tennis.
But no experience is necessary for barn dancing. Beginners are welcome. It's an exhausting business and frequent breaks are necessary for refreshments. And you might even win a box of chocolates or a basket of fruit.
Welcome to Ferring Cricket Club. I'm Rob Miller. I'm the chairman of Ferring Cricket Club. I've been chairman for about 7 or 8 years now. We were due to play today with a Sunday fixture against our President's 11, which is an annual fixture. It's been going for about 17 years, and it's a fundraising day and a family day for our members. But we've had torrential rain on Friday and torrential rain this morning, and we've had to call the fixture off, unfortunately. The club has been going here on this ground for about 60 years, just over. And we've recently discovered our original ground, which is in North Ferring, behind the village hall in Ferring, where cricket tees were sometimes held in the village hall. The club used to play there in the 30s, and then after the war they moved to South Ferring in the area known as the Channel Islands, and there was a ground there behind Millbury House for a few years, and then we moved here in 1952. We normally play Saturdays and Sundays. We don't play league cricket, we just play friendly traditional village cricket, which is getting harder to sustain because most clubs now play league. We have probably between 25 and 30 members most years. It's a small membership, but a lot of clubs are struggling to field sides. We generally can get a side out, but it is getting harder to field 11 consistently. I played my first game of senior cricket here at the club in the mid-60s. With my father and my brother, and I'm delighted to say I've done the same with my two sons, Ben and Tim. They've both played here when they were 12, 13, 14, and we're trying to keep the family tradition going. We're trying to sustain the club and make sure that it has a future, and it takes a lot of effort from a lot of people to do that. But we are moving forward, we're growing. We've now got a Colts section which we started 3 years ago when we were awarded a grant of nearly £50,000 from Sport England, and we spent that on extending the pavilion, and we've now got some decent changing rooms and showers, and we have an outdoor net and a mobile cage. So with Colts starting and Worthing Stool Ball Club start playing stool ball here Wednesday evenings during the season, we're trying hard to keep the club alive and growing for the future. We're playing Nuthurst, and they are 123 for no wicket, and it's going to be a long, hot afternoon.
There's one club with a name that's not too difficult to remember. No, it's not Gordon's, it's GIN, but that stands for Girls in the Neighbourhood, and we joined one of their meetings. On this occasion they had a guest speaker, Ian Gledhill. He was going to talk to them about Gilbert and Sullivan. It was a most interesting evening with slides, music and lots of fascinating and unusual stories. Janet Card told us a little about their activities.
Every year we have 8 meetings. We don't have a speaker every meeting, it's activity sometime. Our activities are varying things, some art, some we've done line dancing, we've done glass making, we have been out to a visit at Chichester, once to look behind stage. and our membership has now increased to 65. So, as you can see, we do quite a varied programme.
More of your friendly neighbourhood ladies can be found at the parish offices at Elm Park.
WI was 100 years old this year. Ferring is 80 next year, but this year, for the centenary year, every WI was asked to do something. And I know lots of the WIs locally have had tea parties and dressed up and done one thing and another. But one of our members very cleverly said, let's knit some garments. So we said, that's a good idea. She said, let's see if we can do 100 garments. So those of us that knit, we started knitting. This was in April, and when the October meeting, which you can see here, all laid before you, there were 223 garments. And they were taken to St Richard's Hospital, and the staff there were overjoyed with what we had done. We were quite proud of ourselves for what we have done, but more importantly, it was such a good idea because what we are about, helping the community, not just jam and Jerusalem, which is how we are perceived.
The view down Ocean Drive hasn't changed a great deal since the late 1930s, and makes for a pleasant stroll to the friendly shops at the Pantiles.
Every alternate Tuesday evening during the winter, spring and autumn, the Ferring Recorded Music Society gather in the village hall to listen to a programme of classical music selected by one of their members. Leslie Sumner, their current chairperson, told us a little about the society.
This year we are celebrating our 50th anniversary because we started in 1965. We've had a varied history over the years with the numbers fluctuating. At one time we were 50 members, but now we're down to about 25. But they're all very keen and very loyal and turn up pretty well every meeting. And we love to sit and listen to the music, and because we take it in turns to present the programme, we have a really good variety of different kinds of classical music.
The club celebrated their 50th anniversary with a lunch at the Angmering Manor Hotel.
It was a great success. We had 28 members and guests, and it was a beautiful day, and we had a very good meal, and afterwards we went out to the garden for our coffee. It was really a very pleasant occasion.
If your taste in music is the saxophone, then the church hall is the place to be.
My name is Steve Turner, and I run this band Take Six, which is made up of my students, past and present. There's 11 or 12 of us all together. I've been running Take Six for 4 years. I'm a saxophone teacher, and everybody in Take Six either is or has been a student of mine.
I've been playing for about 5 years, and a student of our leader here, and then he encouraged me to join the band, and I've never looked back since. It's been brilliant, really good fun.
We meet up fortnightly at the church hall and rehearse various different songs, some bought, some not bought, some arranged by Mike here.
I took up the saxophone at 75, so I've only been playing for 6 years. But it's coming on well, and of course Steve is my tutor. That's the way it all works. He gets all these students together, and then out of the students comes the band.
It's a wonderful band, lots of good fun, lots of good people.
I'm trying to learn to play some jazz, but I have a very long history of classical music on other instruments, and it's hard to get rid of.
I've been playing for 2 years now, and I've never played an instrument before, so this has been a wonderful experience.
And it keeps your brain young if you play music, so doesn't it, Mike?
It takes me longer to find the music than anybody else, and that's the measure of it, I think.
Yeah.
The Henty Arms provides a lot of entertainment in the village. The beer festival in July is always popular, but it takes at least a week to set it all up. We had a chat with the governor in the bar, and he told us about some of the problems.
It's not just a beer festival, it's a family gathering for the weekend. We're a village pub. We're trying to bring something to the village for the village to enjoy. This year we've got a bouncy castle, we've got sweets out there, we've got ice creams. We also do wines, soft drinks, everything. We're just trying to make it a nice family day.
The beer festival runs for 3 days with a different band featured each day.
I'm Martin Black and I'm the leader of the Arran Valley All-Stars. We were formed about 7 years ago, and this is in fact our 7th beer festival for the Henty. The Henty is the one that made us, really. I'm from Ferring, North Ferring. Most of the guys are from Worthing.
It's going very well, but very wet. Good old English summer. 37 beers, 15 ciders. Hopefully by the end of the day, we'll have sold them all.
Following his policy of keeping the village entertained, a few weeks later, Vernon organised a different sort of amusement. Yes, you've got it. Morris dancing.
Morris, we think, is the origin of Moorish dancing. It probably came back with the Crusades, because in the area, Basque region of France and northern Spain, Santander, they do similar style of dancing and a similar style of dress.
The Morris dancers return in the autumn, but the dancing on this occasion takes second place to Conkers.
And then we're going to invite you lot to show us how well you can conquer. There are rules. I've taped them to the tables here. Ignore them completely. We do.
And it wasn't long before everyone, young and old, was joining in.
You grab your conkers and you do whatever damage you can to anybody else. It's an invitation. You say, will you hit my conker? And hopefully they'll say yes. No real rules.
Completely.
Everyone was having a good time, and completely unprovoked, one of the guests wanted to say this.
I moved to Ferring just over a year ago. I moved down here not knowing a single person. I've met such lovely people. It's such a pretty place to live, and I absolutely adore it. And the beer around this area is second to none.
We do hope you've enjoyed this look back at Ferring's celebratory year, as much as South Downs filmmakers have really enjoyed presenting the many groups that make up village life. We thank everyone who has participated so willingly in the making of this film.